go. So today we're going to be doing an unboxing of the KastKing Zephyr BFS reel. This will only be the second KastKing reel that I've ever tried before. The other one was the KastKing Spartacus 2. They did send me that reel, but this one they did not send me. I just straight up purchased it with my own money because I really want to get into BFS fishing. If you guys want to check out this KastKing BFS reel, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. So let's go ahead and get this thing open, y'all. This looks sweet right here, y'all. So we got some stickers, good old KastKing sticker. We'll put that to the side. I think these are freaking genius. It's a way to mark and date what kind of line you had on and when you put it on your reel. Basically, you just put it back here. This thing looks sweet, y'all. I love the orange accents. It's definitely not too orange. I mean, once you put line on the spool, you'll barely be able to see that. So far, it feels pretty smooth. I mean, look at that spool just go. All right, so this is basically what makes a BFS reel. A BFS reel is having this nice, very light spool. As you can see, there's a bunch of drilled out holes. They're trying to take as much weight off of this as possible in order to help you make a smooth, long cast with very light baits. They only come in that 7.2 to 1, no other options as far as gear ratios go, but they do come in left-handed and right-handed. And then they also come in clicking drag, which I'm super stoked on. I decided to go with that because I plan on doing not only bass fishing with this, but also some saltwater fishing. So probably gonna try to catch some redfish, trout, flounder. The clicking drag is a little bit more expensive. It's only like $5 or $10 more expensive, but definitely worth it. I mean, to hear that while you're fighting some fish, it's gonna be so fun. But if you don't want that, they also have non-clicking drag, just your normal bait casting reel. It's got the magnetic braking system with 8 magnets. It has 10 pounds of drag, which is definitely on the lower end as far as bait casting reels go, but it is a finesse reel, so you're not really gonna need more than 10 pounds of drag. And it weighs 5.6 ounces, so it's a very light reel. And then you got a lot of aluminum and some carbon fiber components in there. As you can see behind the handle here, it has that carbon fiber in there. And then as far as line capacity goes, it holds 110 yards of 8-pound braid, 80 yards of 10-pound braid, and then 65 yards of 10-pound braid, 75 yards of 4-pound mono, 65 yards of 6-pound mono, and 50 yards of 8-pound mono. So with the clicking drag, you also have a clicking drag star. And then you also have a clicking spool tension knob, which I really like as well. And so as far as first impressions go, I think this thing feels pretty dang smooth. It looks badass. I'm pretty excited to get it out in the water because last time I did a KastKing reel review, it did feel smooth before I took it out in the water, but then the first 20 minutes of me fishing it, started having these weird problems where it would make this clicking noise when I was reeling. Hopefully this one performs a little bit better. Hopefully I like it a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing spooled up with some line and I'll see y'all on the water. All right, y'all, so I just got out here on the water. I got the KastKing Zephyr all spooled up. I got 10-pound braid on this. Plan on doing a lot of like this type of bass fishing. Plan on doing some inshore saltwater fishing. And so I decided to go with 10-pound braid just to have some extra strength. Some people like to go with 8, 6, maybe even 4-pound line. And you can also even go straight fluorocarbon, straight mono. It kind of just depends on what you're fishing, where you're fishing. So I don't really plan on throwing really teeny tiny lures. I don't really plan on doing a whole lot of like pan fishing or trout fishing or anything with it. I think what I plan on doing is mostly just little light finesse style bass fishing and also little lures for inshore saltwater fishing. So I got my new rod. I'm going to do an unboxing of this 7-foot ultralight casting rod. I'm going to be posting that one after this video, so stay tuned for that. I got 10-pound braid to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. Like I said, I'm fishing a lot of heavier cover, so I went with the 10-pound leader this time. But if I was fishing around some more open water, I would have gone with something like maybe an 8, maybe even 6-pound. Kind of depends on the water clarity. You know, if you're fishing a really pressured lake, the lighter the line, the better. And then I got this little 1/10 ounce EWG Ned head with a little crawfish bait on there. I don't know the name of it. I don't even think that they still sell it. I think it's discontinued, unfortunately, but I will link the jig heads and the line and the leader that I like to use down in the description below, as well as the KastKing Zephyr. I got my settings on the reel dialed in a little bit. I went ahead and turned it to about the 4 mark on the brakes, and then for the spool tension, I got it just so my bait barely falls, just like that. So we're gonna see how that works with the first cast. Might have to mess around with the settings a little bit, but thought I would go pretty tight on them. So let's go ahead and get this first cast in. I'm pretty excited. and I threw it right into a tree. Shouldn't be, yep, came right out because I got that weedless net head on there, but feels good. The first cast feels pretty dang good, y'all. And so, see how the long cast goes. That felt good. All the way up to that log over there. Just past it, had to pull it over. But yeah, this feels good, y'all. I'm pretty excited. We're gonna get to fishing, and I'll let you guys know later on how I feel about this reel. There we go. Oh, that was sick. Finally, y'all, first bass of the day. Oh, it's not even that big. I can boat flip him. Oh, maybe I can't. All right, there we go. First bass of the day. He ate it off this little, just a bunch of laydowns right here. This little guy came up and smoked it right, basically off the top of the water. There he goes. Switch things up. I've tried a few different baits today. I went from that little cross style Ned rig. I was just on a little slim SwimZ from Z-Man. That was in the deal color and a little 3-inch bait. I just put that on a little Ned head and kind of skin hooked it. And basically I was just kind of slow rolling it through all that stuff. I saw like a big swirl behind my bait, and then I realized my line was moving off to the side. So that was pretty sweet. Finally got a bite after being out here for a couple hours. And look at that, another one. Off the same thing, same log jam. Let's go. Oh, that was sick. A little bit better one too. Literally doing the same thing as before. I think I figured it out, y'all. I've been doing like worms and crawfish imitations all day. Maybe I need to be throwing something a little bit more bait fish like. Get up in here, buddy. Look at that. Not even a giant. Look how freaking short and fat he is. Absolutely love it. Same thing, literally right after I was explaining to you guys what I just did, and I got another bite. There he goes. There we go. Right there at the boat on that crankbait. That was so sick. Oh my gosh. Came up and swiped it right on the edge of the, right before I pulled it out of the water. All right, right there, y'all, on that little tiny B.F.S crankbait, or just a mini crankbait basically. That was so sick. He ate it right on the edge of the boat. Gotta love that. We'll go ahead and put him back in the water. All that creaking. I'm trying to get over this log right here. There's a freaking log that keeps poking my boat. Stupid tree. Kind of glad I got stuck there though, because I wouldn't have caught that fish without it. There we go. Oh, that was sick, y'all. On that, I got a little Texas rig on now. Decided to switch to that, and that was like third cast with that thing. Let's go. Oh, that's sick. Look at that right there, y'all. Got him perfectly on the top of the head. That one's pretty good. Pretty solid little guy. I'll take that for sure. There he goes. That guy ate this little Texas rig. I got a little 1/16 ounce bullet weight with a size 1 EWG Gamakatsu worm hook. I got the Strike King Baby Rage Menace, green pumpkin color. I decided, since I was catching on a crankbait and then also on that little swim bait, I decided to get something with a little bit of kick, and this Rage Menace just has those little kicking tails or kicking claws on it. Decided to try that to see if maybe that could trigger some bites. All right, y'all, I think it's about time to wrap things up. Just got done testing out the KastKing Zephyr. I didn't know what it was gonna feel like to be able to throw such light baits on a bait caster. To be honest with you, it just feels like normal. Like there's a few things you have to get used to. You kind of have to go a little bit softer with your casting. You definitely need some type of actual like BFS rod, like some type of ultralight or light action rod. I've tried it on a 7-foot medium moderate that I have is like a crankbait rod. It just doesn't cast the light baits the same, even though that you have the reel. The rods really help with loading up on those light baits. You don't have to really whip it, you know. A lot of times with a bait casting rod, really try to throw it out there as hard as I can, and then when I tried it on this, it just ends up getting backlash. So just like a little like flick, just like a little tiny like soft flick, it's insane how far it goes. Like I did not think on some of these lighter baits, like when I was fishing that little crankbait earlier and the little Ned heads, it's insane that they'll go that far. But yeah, y'all, the KastKing Zephyr BFS reel, I'm so stoked on this thing, y'all. It actually performed very well. I'm very pleased with it. It's good. Like comparing it to my other reels and stuff, I mean, it's smooth, it's quiet, it casts really well, and it's definitely gonna be like one of my main reels now. You know, this is gonna completely change my finesse fishing. Feels like you're power fishing because you're using a bait caster, you're flipping, you're pitching, but you're still fishing finesse. You still got a smaller presentation, you still got lighter line. It's just so much fun, y'all. But I think as far as finesse fishing goes, this is going to become like my main go-to. Like I'll have spinning rods here and there, and there's probably some applications that you might need a spinning rod for, but I think it's going to become kind of a staple in a bass boat. You know, people are going to start having BFS setups, and it's going to become something that everyone has. So if you don't have yours yet, definitely go check it out. Really impressed with KastKing now. My last reel review of KastKing didn't go as well, but this one is good. It's performing well, and I really like it. I'm actually falling in love with it. So if you guys want to check out one of these for yourself, go check them out in the description down below. If you guys want to see the unboxing of that new rod, I'll leave that right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.